This video will go over some advanced search tips and techniques to help you create a better literature search. The first tip is to use truncation and wildcard symbols to help you quickly broaden your search to find all variations of words or alternate spellings when necessary. Truncation is when you add a symbol, typically an asterisk, to the root of a word to find all variations. For example, if you're looking for articles focused on children, you can add an asterisk to the end of child to tell the database to pull up all articles that have any variation of the term child, so children, childhood, and so on. Wildcards let you substitute a symbol for one letter of a word to find all spellings of that word. For example, sometimes the word orthopedic is spelled with an A after the P. Putting a wildcard symbol in place of that letter A will tell the database to pull up articles in orthopedics with either spelling. Different databases recognize different symbols for the wildcard. Many, like CINAHL, use the question mark as the wildcard symbol, but some others might use the pound symbol or an exclamation point. The second tip is to use quotation marks to search for short phrases, like occupational therapy, for example. This tells the database to pull only articles that have that exact phrase, rather than pulling all articles that might have those terms listed separately somewhere in their record. Without quotes, you'll get some results like this one, which have the terms therapy and occupational within the abstract, but the article is not actually about occupational therapy. But be thoughtful with how you use phrase searching. It's best when you know that the concept you are looking for will almost always be expressed in that exact phrase. If you try to search for something like cancer treatment as a phrase, though, then you might weed out articles that say treatment for cancer, which isn't helpful. The third tip is to use Boolean operators and or not to combine your keywords. And will combine terms to pull only articles that have all of your terms. Or is used with synonyms and similar terms to pull articles that have either term. Remember to use parentheses to group together terms combined with or. Not is used to exclude something. It will filter out results with that term or concept. All put together, your search query will look like this: motor control and cerebral palsy and, in parentheses, your synonyms, hippotherapy or therapeutic horseback riding or equine assisted therapy, and children, not adults. The fourth tip is to use filters. Most databases will let you filter by publication date, language, peer review, article type, and so on. This can really help save you time and effort so you aren't going through several results that aren't helpful to you because they're too old or they're in a language that you can't read. The fifth and final tip is to run a search using subject headings instead of keywords. Subject headings are a controlled vocabulary of predefined terms used to provide a consistent way to find relevant results on your topic, regardless of the actual term used by an author. Searching by subject headings means you don't have to worry about thinking of alternate spellings or synonyms for your keywords. When you search using a subject heading, it will return only articles or results that are officially tagged with those subject headings.
So now we'll walk through how to do a subject heading search. We'll use PubMed as an example, but it works similarly in other databases.
Let's say we're wanting to look for articles related to our question on whether hippotherapy can help improve motor control in children with cerebral palsy. As we identified earlier, I've listed here the keyword search string we can use in a database, and I've already looked up some subject headings for our keywords and listed them here as well, but I'll also show you how to search for those within PubMed.
Let's go to PubMed. In PubMed, subject headings are referred to as MESH terms, and that stands for medical subject headings. To search for MESH terms, click on the MESH database link on PubMed's homepage. Now we can enter keywords to see if we can find a corresponding subject heading. So let's go through each of our keywords now, starting with cerebral palsy. You see that it pulls up several terms, and each one has a short definition that you can read to ensure you're choosing the right one. You can also click on that term to learn more, so let's click on the first one. It opens a page that again gives us the definition. We can see the subheadings if we want to search using those. We also have an option to restrict to MESH major topic, which means it would only pull up articles where cerebral palsy is a major subject or main topic of that article. I typically suggest not selecting this because it may narrow your search too much. It's best to review your results without that option selected first, and then you can go back and choose to use it later if needed. You also have the option to select to not include MESH terms found below this term in the MESH hierarchy, which if we scroll down, we can see the MESH hierarchy here and see that there are no terms under cerebral palsy, so we don't have to worry about this option. Once we know this is the term we want, we go to the top right here and hit Add to Search Builder. Once that's done, we can go back to the search bar up top and look for our next term, children. When we click on child, you'll see that it says it's for a person 6 to 12 years of age, and if you want to look for individuals 2 to 5 years of age, you should use child preschool. But if we look at the MESH hierarchy here, you'll see that child preschool is listed below the main child heading, so we will still pull up articles on children aged 2 to 5 using this main child term. If we do not want articles about children aged 2 to 5, then we can select the Do Not Include mesh terms found below this term in the mesh hierarchy option, and that will exclude that population from our search. So let's add this to our search builder. And we want to keep that and selected since we're combining these terms with and to find articles that have both terms. Next, let's look for hippotherapy, and it pulls up only one term, equine assisted therapy. We'll add that to our search, and now we'll look for motor skills and add that to our search. Now that we have all of our terms combined, click on Search PubMed, and it'll take us back to the PubMed database to show that it found 10 results that are tagged with all of our mesh terms. And that's the basics on how to run a search using subject headings in PubMed. And those are our top search tips and tricks. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can also find more search tips on our Advanced Databases Searching Guide available at the link here. You can also find this guide by clicking on the Guides menu link at the top of the library's website.